I want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom. So this lesson is going to be broken into two parts because there's a lot of information in this lesson. And, I just want those that are beginning, to get in this truth, to, receive this well and not pack too much information at once. So we're breaking it into two parts, and it's basically going into how the watchmen of this world, Esau's world, the ones that are in the church, are leading the people astray. They're blind. They cannot see what's going on. They cannot tell you what's going to come because they're blind, A blind person can't see. So how can he warn somebody else? So we're going to start off with Ezekiel chapter 3 and start off at 17.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
You see? So he made you a watchman unto the house of Israel. And what does a watchman do? They watch. They always constantly seeing to see if there's any trouble coming. And it'll let you know why they were set up. Go ahead.
Therefore, hear the word at my mouth, and give them warning from me.
You see, give them warning from me. And he's basically letting them know, to get right. Get right, because judgment is coming upon everybody, even to 2/3 of Israel, So we have to be watching, and watch diligently in these times, because we're almost at the end is almost near. So we have to give our people warning. Go ahead.
When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speaketh to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
You see? So if you're not giving warning to the wicked to repent, to come back to the law, statutes, and commandments so they can have faith in salvation, by you not giving them warning, and they get destroyed, that blood's going to be on your hand, But the church ain't giving you warnings of anything. They're giving you the wrong doctrine that, God is all love, that Yahweh Shai is coming for everybody. Kumbaya, everybody's hugging each other, So they're not giving you warning about his judgment, They're telling you that God is just as all merciful. And that's not scriptural. That's false. You know what I mean? So we're going to go into Isaiah 56 and 10. So
this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant.
You see, his watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. And ignorant means not knowing. You see? Go ahead.
They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark.
They are all dumb dogs that cannot bark. Because what does a dog do when he's at home? He barks, right? He gives you warning when a thief is coming, right? Go ahead.
Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber.
You see? Sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. And when you're sleeping, the ones that are following them are sleeping too. That means you're not awake. You're not seeing. You're blind. Okay?
Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
All it is about is passing that plate around. You got Creflo Dollar and all these people. Oh, I need a jet so I can spread the word of the Lord faster. Lying, to his people, keeping them poor while they get fat, Go ahead.
And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, every one for his gain, from his quarter.
You see, everyone for his gain from his quarter. So that's all these people know is money. That church was built to be a business. That's their business. That's their headquarters, to hustle the people and keep them blind, keep them lead those sheep astray. You see? So, these people need to wake up. And it's all the Lord's will. And we're going to get into that, Lord willing, I believe in part 2, we're going to get into why it's all the Lord's will. But these people are blind. You see? The Lord is saying these people are dumb dogs that cannot bark. And like I said, a dog is mainly put in the house so he can give warning if the thief is coming, right? If he hears somebody that's not supposed to be there walking outside, he gets up. His ears stand up and they start barking, right? Or growling. And that's how the owner knows, hey, something's wrong. But these watchmen ain't doing that, right? So if they're not warning the people, the blood of the people are going to be on their hands. We're going to go ahead now and go to Matthew 15 and 14.
There's the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 14. Let them alone, that be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into the ditch.
You see, let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, they shall both fall into a ditch. So, if you're being led by a blind person, how can you see? He's the one in front. You can't see ahead of him. He's leading you. Don't a lab walk with a person and lead him, but that lab ain't blind. He knows where he's going. You see? But that blind person cannot lead himself. And if somebody is blind just like him, how can he lead him? They're both going to fall into a ditch. And it just said in Isaiah 56 and 10 that his watchmen are blind. These pastors are blind out here. They don't understand what's going on. They were never talking about the charagma, which is the mark. They were never talking about these wars that are coming. Their whole doctrine is based on love and everybody hugging and everybody just, do as you want, but just have faith. That's leading the blind to the blind. That's leading the blind to destruction, So let's go to Proverbs 29 and 18.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keepeth the law, happy is he.
You see, where there is no vision, the blind leading the blind, the people perish. They shall fall into a ditch, which it all goes back to his watchmen are blind. It all starts at the top. If your leader can't see, you ain't going to be able to see. You see? But he that keepeth the law, happy is he. And we know that the law ain't going to save you. We already established that in some earlier lessons. The law is not going to save you, but we have to keep them to the best of our ability. Believing in Hamashiach Yahushai and having faith while keeping the laws to the best of your abilities and following the commandments. That's what's going to save you. Because if you're being wicked, the Lord ain't going to save you. And we understand we can't keep the law to its entirety, but we have to try to keep them to the best of our abilities. Whichever ones we're able to keep, we keep them. But you see, it says where there is no vision, the people perish. And these leaders in the churches have no vision. Like I said, their whole doctrine is bullshit, all based on love, and that the Lord loves everybody, but He hates sin. That's not scriptural, man. They cannot bring out a scripture that can back that up. So we're gonna go to Proverbs now, 6 and 23.
Here's the book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 23. For the commandment is a lamp, and the law is light, and reproofs of instruction are the way of life.
You see, it just said in Proverbs 29 and 18 that where there is no vision, the people perish. And he that keepeth the law, happy is he. Why? Because the commandment is a lamp and the law is a light. And without a light, you can't see. You see? Without the laws, you can't see. If you're over here acting wicked, being a transgressor, sin on top of sin, you're going to be kept in darkness. You see? Because the commandment is a lamp and the law is a light. You see? And that's the only way you can instruct your way into life. Instead of leading the blind into that ditch where the people have no vision, they perish. You see? So you have to keep the laws to the best of your abilities and the commandments to have that lamp, to have that light. And that is the wisdom in your mind. You see? Without wisdom, there's no surviving. Without wisdom, without that light, there is no instruction. And without instructions, you're going to drive into the fork of the road. Without that GPS map, you're going to drive off a cliff. You see? So we're going to go to 1 John chapter 2, verse 3 and 4.
There's the book of 1 John, chapter 2, and verse 3 and 4. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him.
You see? And hereby we know that we know him if we keep his commandments. And that's that lamp. You see? That's that lamp to see. How can we see and know who Yahweh is if we're not keeping his commandments? We're kept in the dark. How can we see and know? Do you have to not see a person and know him by seeing him? How can you see anything when you're in the dark? And if you can't see something, you don't know it. You don't have no knowledge of it. That's what that word knowing means. Having knowledge of it. You cannot have knowledge of the Most High if you're not keeping his commandments. You see? So, all these pastors are just wicked, man. Telling you that, the laws are done away with. Not warning the people that they're not supposed to eat pork. So our people is dying left and right in these hospitals, getting amputated, heart attacks, obesity, cholesterol. That blood is in their hands. Telling people that, the vision that Paul had with the meats was see, everything is clean to eat. Breaking down scriptures the wrong way. We're going to get into all that in the second part. Because there's a lot more information going into this. But I didn't want to make this an hour video for you people out there. I want you guys to get, to eat, this truth little by little, so you guys could ingest it right. You guys could swallow it right. Because too much will make you vomit it. You regurgitate it, and it might even push you away. Too much information is vexation. So I hope you guys can process this for now, and I'm gonna make part 2. Lord willing, tomorrow or the next day. Hopefully you guys have processed this. This little lesson, and we'll feed you some more on this in part 2. So Lord willing, you guys were edified, and I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Rakakadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles for teaching us this truth, and I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters in this truth. Shalom, DTA, Abab, Kum Yasharala.